They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the rookie out of Georgia, Sony Michel. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
The New England Patriots remain consistent on offense with a stable of running backs. They added Sony Michel, the 31st pick of the draft in 2018, to that stable at the University of Georgia, mainly for his ability to run inside the tackles and add a little thump to their game.
Brady to throw on second down. And his pass incomplete. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
To throw, it's Brady. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now Brady throwing on second down. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They're starting to get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Working from the gun, it's Brady. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. They'll try to run it in. Michel. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the longtime Patriot. It's LeGarrette Blount. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there at 22.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing on first down is Brady. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Brady. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Preston Brown in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. Take it at the 37. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. So here come the Lions now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Here's White. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
New England on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Brady. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. First catch for the All-Pro Gronk. And a first down.
Well, there it is, partner. Brady to Gronk, their first connection of the game.
You think those two often in sync?
I don't think there's any question about it. And, look, we know Gronk has a whole lot of fun, but he's deadly serious about his football, as is Tom Brady. Two great competitors, two fantastic players.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now they'll throw with Brady. This is caught. Gronkowski. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel in the final seconds of the first half, and the Patriots add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So out now come the Lions. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing is Stafford. They'll roll him out right. And this one complete to Levine Toilolo. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show.
That's caught at the 25. A big play on third down for the Lions. And even 50 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Brady and the Patriots now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So after the INT, it's Brady. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
By 20! By 20!
Shotgun now for Brady. And a dump off to White. They give him a gain of 38.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
From midfield, here's Brady. Pass incomplete. Edelman was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Brady will try again on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
New England on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Free to throw again. Over the middle, Julian Edelman. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Michel. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sony Michel with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, as one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Lawrence Guy with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. So many different weapons available in that Patriot backfield. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey. We go.
On 1st down, Brady. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now at Ford Field. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. On second down, Michelle. Broken tackle. Still churning. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
New England on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. Rolling to his right. Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now. 2
big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Patriots add on to their lead. Gostkowski for the point after. Gostkowski the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Spins away. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Deron Harmon makes the tackle.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Here's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And got his man complete. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 30-yard play on third. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The safety, Patrick Chung, is the one who makes the stop.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Steps away to his left. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Lions on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Stafford now to throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions are able to cut into this lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Stays on his feet. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Now a pitch out to Michel. Able to power through. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Now a carry for White. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On the handoff, it's Michel. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. Ooh, the juke. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on. Get it done. And maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Give me radar.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Back to throw, Stafford. And that will write a finish to this ball game.